Hello children, welcome to NEET World. This is Narayani, I am your foundation biology educator. So in previous class we discussed about the level 2 questions. So some are remaining about no children. So we will discuss today. So before going to the start the session children, I would like to remind you, very important is for you, we are conducting the foundation summer camp course for 15 days of period. So in these 15 days, we are categorized 10 days of to explain the very core concepts which are related to the NEET and JEE examinations. The basics of these examinations we are going to discuss in these 10 days. And the first 10 days is especially categorized to the explain the basics about the examinations and what are the core concepts which are coming for the examinations of NEET and JEE. So after 2 days, after 10 days, the next 2 days will be the activity based learning. Activity based learning is which is very important children for your practical knowledge. So we are conducting in that after 10 days, the 12 days should be we are conducting the activity based learning. After 12 days, the 13th day we are conducting the quiz. So by that quiz we can you check your efficiency by after and before. So it is very useful children. And 14th day we are keeping the cumulative assessment of which the subjects we discussed about. So we are discussing about the physics, chemistry, biology and mathematics. These are the subjects we are going to discuss in this foundation summer camp course. And 15th day, which is very important day children. So if someone want to become a doctor, engineer, right children. So whichever path you want to go. So we have to know about the path, clear path, right children, that should be available through the career guidance. We are providing the career guidance program children by one-on-one interaction. Though you can you can ask your doubts, what you want to become, and we will give you the suggestions you are based on your knowledge and interest. So these are the 15 days we are categorized children. So this foundation summer camp especially for the upcoming students of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th people. So this is very important children. So already the 2 batches are already been started children. So and very important children, the first 1 week class are absolutely free. There is no need to pay off any 1 rupee also in this foundation summer camp. So you can happily join our classes. So you can come through our offline also and online also. Those who want to come through offline children, so they can happily visit our institute name called NEET World, present in Narayani G, Hyderabad. So those who wanted to attend online children, though you can attend through the children, and the down scrolling number is there children. So contact with that number, then you can give you the access in our app name called MedWorld. So this is what our foundation summer camp children. So any queries please contact through the below numbers. And the mode of learning is through digital panel children for both CBSE also and SSE also. So we are creating the wonderful animations to get you to get the concept to be understood for you children. So this is about our foundation summer camp. So hope you all join in this and utilize this opportunity of 1 week of free classes. So this is what about our foundation summer camp children. So that's what about, and let's move fastly to the today's session. Yes. So we discussed till now 33rd question no children. So I given you homework for you this question no children. So some of you answered, you messaged me, that's fine. So let's discuss this question onwards. So here what they given children, which of the following statement describe a bacteriophage correctly? What is meant by bacteriophage children? Bacteriophage means what? The virus which attack the bacteria, we call it as bacteriophage. We call it as bacteriophage, right children? So we discussed is the virus is a living or non-living. It is not, it is exhibiting both characteristics of living and also non-living. So that is why it is categorized in between the borderline between these of two. Borderline between living and non-living, as it is exhibiting the traits of traits mean characters children, which exhibiting the characters of both living also, non-living also. That is why virus is considered as a borderline between living and non-living. It is exhibiting the living characteristics when you find the host. When it is finding the host children, it is exhibiting the host, it exhibiting the characteristic features of living. When it is outside of the host, without host, it exhibiting, it does not reproduce by own itself. So if the host is not available, so these are the trait which is considered as a non-living. Without host, it does not exhibiting the living characteristics, right? Without host. So that is why we considered as a virus is a borderline in between living and non-living. So here is asked the question, which of the following statement describe the bacteriophage correctly? They are asking which of the bacteriophage which is correctly, they asked the correct statement. So here see, it is a bacterium which causes disease in plants. Of course, viruses cause disease in plants also, animals also, plants also and animals also. They are smaller than the bacteria. 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 So, of course, it is also correct statement. So, they are asking about according to the bacteriophage, right children? It is a type of virus which attacks the bacteria. Of course, it is a accurate statement. It is an accurate statement about coming to the question of bacteriophage. Let's see another two options also children. It is a bacterium which kills viruses. No. Here the statement is quite opposite. The virus only itself attack the bacteria and take over the machinery and take over the machinery of protein synthesis, and it it utilizes according to itself. Then it produces its army, and at last it bursts the cell, right? So when the virus attack the host children, it takes over the machinery and it produces itself its own kinds. It produces its own kinds. Then after the completion of all producing of its enough army, then after the completion of all the machinery, it lyses the cell. This is how the virus attacks. So this is the quite opposite. This is a wrong statement. They are asking about the correct statement according to the bacteriophage. So it can multiply inside both living and non-living cells. No, it cannot act upon the non-living cells. It only act upon the living cells. It takes the host as a living cells only. It takes the host as a living cells only, right? So this is what about the question 34 children. According to the bacteriophage, which is the accurate statement, which is correct children, it is a type of virus which attacks the bacteria. It is the right statement. And coming to the first statement children, it is right according to the virus but not about the bacteriophage, right? So here see that is not that much accurate. So coming to the high given, see when you in the period of corona children, so we have the tablets of vitamin D also. Why vitamin D? Vitamin D is available through sunlight also. It means directly when we are in the 8 to 9, 6 to 9, at the time of 6 to 9, when you went to the sunlight, it provides the vitamin D. No, actually what happens children, when we expose to the sunlight in the period of 6 to 8:30 at morning time or evening time at 5 to 6 or else 4:30 to 6. When the evening time especially, evening. So evening time, so what will happen children? So when the sunlight we observe, our body cholesterol will be there, no children. It absorbs and it turns into the vitamin D. It turns into the vitamin D. The sun is not providing directly the vitamin D to us. It is converting the cholesterol itself in our body. Cholesterol present in our body to vitamin D. So is the vitamins are essential for us? Of course it is essential for the nourishment, right children? Without if the deficiency of the vitamins, because various diseases, various causes. For the vitamin B12 is very important. It involves in the formation of red blood cells. Iron is important, right? That is why they mostly, when you are sick, when you are in the the blood is low for you. What they prefer, they give the iron tablets, which is which increases the blood, and and also they will give you the vitamin B12 because it helps in the formation of red blood cells. That is why, so vitamins are very essential for human beings. There are 13 essential vitamins. We will do another session for this, what kind of importance of it, each vitamin and all that. So here, so I can see vitamin D is commonly known for the role of bone health. It leads to the bone health. It also makes proteins that kills virus and bacteria. It makes the strengthen the body by improvising the immune system. By if you have the immune system is well, so you can, if you virus bacteria it will attack also, it will, we will not, without taking any tablet prescription also will fit, because of the your immune system is good. So this is how the vitamin D is essential, children, especially in the respiratory tract diseases. This vitamin D is more essential because it kills weight, through oxygen, through when we, by the breathing only we will inhale the various viruses like coronavirus and all that. So by inhaling we will get the many pathogens can enter through our body. So this is how we, if the vitamin D is very have it, if you have enough vitamin D, that it helps to boost the immune system. So this is how the vitamin D is essential, children. So that is why when you are when you wake up in the morning, just do yoga. It will helps you. You do Surya Namaskaras. While doing the Surya Namaskaras, you will get the in the presence of sunlight, you will absorb the vitamin D, which means it turns our cholesterol into essential vitamin D. So it is very essential to do the yoga, children. It will helps you also. It gives you the freshness. You will learn easily the subject. So your concentrating levels will be increases. So everyone do it, children. So this is the for this question the answer is B. Coming to the next question, children. So here the question is at 1 minute. Okay. So here given at 37 degrees and in damp conditions, bacteria reproduce through they are asking is 37 degrees of time, is bacteria can reproduce, they are asking. So is bacteria is everywhere? Of course it is everywhere, in hot springs, in volcano eruptions, wherever it is, we cannot say one place also which is bacteria is not present. So here they are asking at at 37 degrees in damp conditions, which means wet conditions. In wet conditions, the most favorable conditions of the microorganisms is moist conditions, wet conditions, right? Moist conditions are the favorable for the growth of the microorganisms. Here at 37 degrees in damp conditions, bacteria reproduce through. When the suitable conditions, when ideal conditions of the microorganisms, they grow more. So how the bacteria can reproduce? By using the budding or binary fission or conjugation or spore formation they are asking. So here the question. So what is budding, children? It is an outgrowth of the unicellular fungi we discussed. So when it is the matured, it detaches from the parent and forms the another outgrowth. It again continues. Otherwise it forms the chain of buds. So it is in the budding is the condition we see in the unicellular fungi name called yeast. Unicellular fungi name called yeast, children. Unicellular fungi name called yeast. So and coming to the next. So it is the wrong answer. Bacteria, fungi can reproduce through budding. The best example for it is unicellular fungi yeast. So coming to the binary fission, of course binary fission is the correct answer. So conjugation we not discussed, children, because that we will discuss in the when we are doing the what kind of asexual and sexual reproduction. I will make another video for you, children. So we can clearly learn at that time. So spore formation. Spore formation is example for rhizopus, right? So rhizopus, when the sporangia having the spores. So when the sporangia having the bulb-like structures of rhizopus we are called as sporangia. They have the many seed-like structures called spores. When they burst in the favorable condition with the spores, with the help of spores, they again germinate. Right, children? So the answer is binary fission. In the binary fission, children, when the ideal conditions of the bacteria, it becomes twice in amount. It becomes the twice in amount and copy that its DNA and make it 1 cell into 2. 1 cell into 2. It makes 2. It makes 2 cells. So in the binary fission, the parent cannot be seen. Cannot be seen because the parent itself is dividing into 2. So once when the bacteria want to reproduce, what will happen, children? It becomes the twice in amount. After that, when it becomes the twice in amount, it copies its DNA and then it divides into 2. So here the one parent giving rise to 2 individuals. So that is what the binary fission, children. So in multiple fissions, so the number of daughter cells will be more in number. In binary fission, one parent will give rise to only 2 individuals. So the answer is B, children. So coming to the next question, the time period of the reproducing of bacteria is 20 minutes. To giving its daughter cells, it takes 20 minutes. This is also one type of the question they may ask children. So we have to remember this. So the next question, which of the following characteristics are true for a virus? They are asking which of the characteristics which are true according to the virus. Okay. Let's see, children. 1 minute. Okay. True for the virus. So see here, they are asking it has a nucleus, they are saying. It has a nucleus. No, it has the genetic material. It has either may be the DNA or RNA. So let's see another two options also. It reproduces only in the living cells. Of course, it's a true statement. When the virus find the host, then only it will reproduce. Then only it can form its army, its own kind of species. Right? It contains either DNA or RNA. Of course, it may contain either DNA or RNA. In viruses which mostly attack human beings and animals is the double-stranded DNA. Virus which attacks more to the plants is single-stranded RNA. Single-stranded RNA. The plants, the most genetic material which attacks to the plants is RNA, children. In humans and animals, the most attack of the genetic material through virus is double-stranded DNA. So it may be the either DNA also, RNA also. So it doesn't have the well-developed nucleus. We cannot see the well-developed nucleus, cell organelles and all that. We cannot see which the cell requires more to grow itself. It doesn't exhibit any characteristics of it. It exhibits genetic material and covering it is out of protein. It makes how the genetic material is surviving because by protecting by the protein coat. So that is what we can say they are made up of nucleoproteins. So here I given the general characteristics of viruses. So there are obligatory intracellular parasites. Of course, they are exhibiting when they found the host only. Without host, they can't reproduce, right? So they contain single type of nucleic acid. It is either maybe the DNA or RNA. Okay. And coming to it has a protein coat. The genetic material which is present in the virus, it is surrounded by the protein coat. It is protected by the protein coat. And there is no ribosomes. What is the function of the ribosomes, children? Protein synthesis. Is the proteins are required for us? Of course. Without protein, we cannot make anything. Right? We will make, when we are discussing about the nutrition part, children, you will know about the protein. What is the protein which, protein, what kind of importance it is in our body, and Vasme ma'am is also discussing about the your cell, the unit of life, no? So there you can learn about the ribosomes very clearly. So here see, so there is no ribosomes. The importance of the ribosomes is, children, protein synthesis. There is no ribosomes. That is why in the absence of the host, they are not producing any. They cannot reproduce itself. They are not, they are exhibiting the traits of non-living right? Traits mean characters, children. So host range, most viruses infect only specific types of cells only. They are determined by the host at sites. So some of the hosts mainly affect the some types of cells only. So there may be the size of 20 to 500 nanometers in length. They are smaller than the bacteria. They are smaller than the bacteria. The viruses are smaller than the bacteria. So viruses are smaller than the bacteria. Viroids are smaller than the viruses. Prions are smaller than the viroids, right, children? So here the genetic material is not covered by any protein coat. In prions, the main genetic material itself is a abnormal unfolded protein. Abnormal unfolded.
Cos alpha.
So these are the some various diseases caused by these viroids and prions also. They will ask what the prions cause which disease. Mad cow disease. It mainly attacks the nervous system, children. That is why if they can ask the questions of which type of diseases which cause the prions, viroids and viruses mostly. So viruses are smaller than the bacteria, and viroids are smaller than the viruses. Prions are smaller than the viroids. So in the viroids, it is not covered. The genetic material is not covered by any protein coat. In prions, the genetic material itself is the unfolded abnormal protein. So this is what about this question. So the virus does not have the well developed nucleus. So the statement is absolutely wrong. They are asking the characteristic which is true for the viruses. So 2 and 3 are the correct answer. So yes, 2 and 3 are there. Of course there. It is the right answer for this according to this question. So I hope all you clear, children. So let's move to the another question. So see here. When the fungal spores land on a piece of bread, they are asking when the fungal spores land on a piece of bread. Yes, in the loaves of bread, what will cause, children? Mainly the the main content which grow more on the bread is fungi, rhizopus, bread mold also we will say. So when the fungal spores land on a piece of bread left on a table, overnight they may be left, it seems. Then after a few days, not overnight also, children, they left for a few days and the bread becomes moldy. What conditions favor the growth of the fungus? See, when you left the food or else the bread on the table or the overnight, you will see the next day morning itself the fungus growing on it, the white cotton sheath you may observe in it, right, children? So here they left for the piece of bread on a table, in the few days. Of course, you can observe the white cotton sheath in the top of the loaves of the bread. So it becomes moldy. What conditions? They are asking which conditions are favorable for the fungi growth. So the fungi will grow in the season of the rainy season, right? Fungi will grow in the season of rainy season, right, children? More dampy conditions, wet conditions, there is the favorable. So the moist conditions which are favorable, the favorable growth for the fungi and also bacteria. Actually the microorganisms are more attentive for the moist conditions, right? So the presence of food, they are asking the moist temperature, the absence of water. See here, the absence of water is absolutely wrong. Having the moist conditions. So Option 3 is absolutely wrong. We can eliminate this by this question. We can eliminate it. Right. So here the option 3 is in here also we can eliminate, and option C also we can eliminate. So again remaining A and B. So the presence of food, of course in the presence of food only the fungi can grow. Without food the fungi can grow, and the bread has absorb more amount of moist nature from the atmosphere itself. From the atmosphere only it absorbs the moist condition. It is suitable for the growth of the fungus. Of course the presence of food is correct, and the moist temperature. Of course the moist temperature is available. That is why the fungi is favorable for the growth. So the answer is 1 and 2. The answer is 1 and 2. The answer is children 1 and 2. So here the characteristics of fungi, let's see fastly. Okay. Can be found in various places: air, water, basements, gardens, foods and toes. Of course, when the rainy season children, we can go through some some of the people which are maintaining the poor hygienic conditions, they may suffer the fungal infections also, right? So can be unicellular or multicellular. The example of the unicellular is yeast, and the multicellular example is rhizopus. As it is the microscopic also, it is a multicellular, right children? Mushrooms are also the good example for the multicellular. So multicellular made up of hyphae. So multicellular made up of hyphae, even though the rhizopus children, okay, even though rhizopus, the long slender like filaments which have the hyphae, we call it as hyphae, right children? The hyphae, when we see, they are the long filamentous slender like structures which are tangled together, twisted together. We call them as collection of hyphae called as mycelium. Mycelium, right children? So they are made up of hyphae. Even though the mushrooms also children, the mushrooms also, when you observe through microscope, they are also same. They are also made up of hyphae only. If it is a microscopic also, we can see the hyphae. They are also made up of the hyphae only. As they are the macroscopic also. We can see your naked eye also. They are also made up of hyphae only. Thread-like filaments have cell wall composed of course, fungi having the cell wall, it is made up of chitin. It is made up of children chitin, and also the chitin, which is the same material we can see in the insects, right? This is what about the children fungi characteristics. They are found everywhere. In the rainy season is the most favorable conditions, and the moist conditions, damp conditions, they are more suitable. And coming to they are unicellular also, multicellular also. Unicellular example is yeast, and multicellular example is rhizopus and mushrooms. And the multicellular made up of hyphae. Of course, edible mushrooms also made up of hyphae only. So, and they have the cell wall is composed of chitin. The cell wall is composed of children chitin. So coming to the correct question, answer is for this question is B. Coming to the next question children. 1 minute. Okay. So we discussed 37th question, right? Okay. 38th question. See here children, which of the following microorganisms play important roles in maintaining the balance of nitrogen gas in the atmosphere? Which they are asking, which is the viruses are asking, they are asking viruses or algae or protozoa. We know that the most from the first chapter onwards we are discussing about the nitrogen fixation children. The nitrogen is available through the animals and humans through the plants only, by fixing the symbiotic association between plants. It is happening by the bacteria. It is happening by the children bacteria. Nitrogen fixation. When we studied the nitrogen fixation children, nitrogen cycle, why the nitrogen is required children? To form the nucleic acids. To form the nucleic acids like DNA and RNA. Is the humans and animals having the mechanism to convert useful form directly the atmospheric present nitrogen? No, we don't have that mechanism. But the plants do have. How the plants have? When they are associated with the symbiotic association plays in the plants with the bacteria, there helps in the producing of the nitrogen, right? So, and proteins also, amino acids also it can produce through nitrogen, right. So, in the nitrogen cycle we also studied that how the plant can absorb, which form of the nitrogen it will absorb, children, nitrates. So, the bacteria which helps in forming the nitrates, we call it as nitrifying bacteria. Nitrifying bacteria. Nitrifying bacteria, right children. And coming to the denitrification, children. So, we again with the place we get the nitrogen, we again back giving to the, it is again go back to the atmosphere. How it the stable maintenance of 78 atmospheric of nitrogen is present in the atmosphere? By stabilizing, again giving back to the atmosphere. How it is happening? By the process of denitrification. By the process of denitrification, the denitrifying bacteria which helps in the, converting the nitrates into nitrogen gas. Again it get back into the atmosphere. After the fixation, children, so the nitrogen is converting into the nitrates. Again the nitrates get back into the, again atmosphere through denitrifying bacteria. So, it is used, the plants uses and the animals also uses. When they die, what will happen, children? They convert into the organic, the complex organic molecules turns into simple molecules like ammonia. That the process we call it as ammonification. After the ammonification, then it is get back into the, atmosphere through the denitrifying bacteria. Again it get back into the same form of the nitrogen to the atmosphere. This is what about the nitrogen, children. So, the bacteria plays a very key important role. The bacteria we studied, the example is rhizobium, which is present in the root nodules of the leguminous plants. It helps in the fixation of the nitrogen. So, thereby how the plant is taking nitrogen. Then by the plant eaters, herbivores, animals, humans. So, by the plant eaters we are getting the nitrogen itself. Thereby utilizing for the preparation of the nucleic acids, DNA, RNA. Right, protein synthesis for the making of amino acids, we are utilizing the nitrogen. So, the examples of the rhizobium bacteria, blue green algae cyanobacteria also called as blue green algae. And Nostac, Agitobacter. These are the examples of the bacteria which can able to fix the nitrogen and providing to the soil and also for the plants. Thereby we are utilizing it for the formation of R's, nucleic acids and proteins and DNA and RNA. So, this is what about the 38th question, children. The answer is B. Coming to the next question. So, here is the next question, children. So, which process takes place when the yeast is added to grape juice and left for a week? So, when we are studying what is about the fermentation, children. What is the fermentation, children? See, fermentation is a process. It is a biological process. It converts sugar into acids, alcohols, and also gases, children. So, see, in the fermentation is a process where sugar is breakdown or it is converted into acids, gases or alcohols with the help of the microorganisms like yeast, bacteria, okay, fungi and bacteria. It is with the help of these microorganisms, the fermentation process is happening. It occurs in the absence of oxygen. That is why the fermentation process we call it as anaerobic process. Anaerobic process means, children, it happens in the absence of oxygen. What is aerobic process? Aerobic process means which happens in the presence of oxygen. It is happening in the absence of oxygen. We consider it as an anaerobic process. So, here they are asking, so when the which process takes place in the yeast is added. Yeast is added to the grape juice. Yeast is added to the grape juice and left for a week. They are left for the week. So the sugar present in the grapes, it is converted as breakdown and or else eaten by the yeast, eaten by the yeast, and it is converted into the, as it is occurs in the absence of oxygen, children, it produces the gases and alcohols also. It turns into alcohols. For a week, what will happen? What the process they asked? So the process is nothing but the fermentation. The process is nothing but the fermentation, children. Is the grape juice, they are added with the yeast, and it occurs in the absence of oxygen. So the result in the production of alcohol and carbon dioxide. So when the yeast is eating the sugar, or else it is converting into the acids and alcohols, gases and alcohol. So or else it is forms the acids also in case of gas and alcohols also. The gas is the carbon dioxide, and it makes the alcohol, right children. So in the baking process also is the same situation, children. So when the yeast is added to the bread dough, what will happen? So by adding the bread dough, children, so the dough will be raised because the fermentation process is happening. The yeast which is converting the sugar into gases, and also it produces the ethanol is also produced. This is nothing but the alcohol. When the baking process, the alcohol will be evaporates. So because of the production of the carbon dioxide, children, the bread will be rises. That is why the bread, the bread is like the bread shows the fluffy and soft. So that is why the bread is so fluffy and soft. So that process we called as fermentation, children. So what is meant by decomposition? So decomposition is a process. Okay, decomposition is a process that occurs by the microorganisms, mainly bacteria and fungi. So they decompose. They decompose the dead organic matter of animals, plants when they die, and some stubs. So they make decompose and helps to the soil to it makes the organic manure, right children? It makes the organic manure which is utilized by the plants. So and it leads to the fertility of the soil. So that is what the process of the decomposition. So here we oxidation means, children, breakdown. Oxidation means breakdown. And coming to the distillation process, children, you will get to know the further, children. So it through the distillation diagram you can observe, you can understand more. So here is the not required for the for the yeast is added to the grape juice. We know when we are studying the fermentation, children, we discussed about this. The process you can directly know about this is it is a fermentation, right? So coming to the 40 question, children, this is the last question today we are discussing about. So another few questions are there, we will discuss in the tomorrow session. So let's fastly skim this question. Microorganisms are used in biotechnology or genetic engineering for. What is biotechnology and what is or genetic engineering? What is genetic engineering? See, when it is modified, the gene is modified because of to prevent the diseases, right? That is nothing but genetic engineering. Alteration of gene, they are altering the gene to prevent the diseases or else to control the diseases, nothing but the genetic engineering. So biotechnology also nothing but bio means life, technology means mechanisms, okay, processes which are able to produces, there are the procedure makes to to prepare the antibiotics, hormones, right. So these are helpful in the for the preparation of the antibiotics, medicines and all that. So biotechnology is the by preparation of altering the gene and to prevent the diseases, mainly the biotechnological processes are useful. So they are asking microorganisms are used in biotechnology or genetic engineering for. Why, for what purpose they are using, they are asking. So it is the production of bioplastic and the production of hormones and gene therapy. So let's see what is the gene therapy and all that. So see here, gene therapy, if it is a healthy gene, children, if it is affected for the any pathogen or else it is creating the disease for you, or else it forms the uncured diseases. So they, what the biotechnology process will do, they alter the, by the mechanisms, you know, they alter the gene. So thereby it reduces the disease, right. So the causing organisms will be, you know, taken out, the gene will be taken out and the healthy gene will be provided. This is how the gene therapies works, children. They are mainly uses to prevent the genetic diseases, right. So what the next, what is the production of bioplastic? Bioplastic means nothing but, children, producing UHC. This is the bioplastic. They are whatever the they are making to use the useful form by producing the compost or else the recyclable products, by, you know, they are making the to useful forms, that is nothing but the bioplastic, children. So here see, producing using cornstarch, recycled food waste and wood chips, they are used to make the carbon dioxide, producing when it is breakdown. So they are forming the compost, which is helpful for the crops, right, children. So here how the recycling is happening, and the production of hormones, and the production of hormones is mainly occurs to the biotechnologists, children. So production of hormones is happening when the biotechnology, you know, biotechnological processes. So when they alter the through the plasmids. So plasmids means, children, if it is a bacteria, the round circular structures present in the bacteria is plasmids, which are used to make the hormones, antibiotics and all that, which are useful for the humans mainly. So these three are useful. The production of bioplastic and production of hormones and gene therapy is happening through biotechnology and genetic engineering process. Biotechnology or genetic engineering is same, children. So they are altering the gene to prevent the diseases. They are coming to a enlightened. They came to through the processes they are coming to lighten. So thereby we are utilizing it and to preventing the thereby we are preventing the diseases. So here is the question, the 1, 2, 3 are correct answers, children. So here is the answer is D. This answer is D. You can learn about more in the upcoming classes, children. Don't worry about this question. It is a little hard only for you. So because I did not explain you, I will explain in very clear way in the upcoming classes, children. So this is what about the today's session, children. Before winding up the class, I would like to announce very important news for you, children. So we are conducting the summer camp foundation course. So for the upcoming students of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. So here we have planned the 15 days of course, children. In the first 10 days we are going to cover the core concepts which are related to the examinations of NEET and JEE examinations, children. So those who are very interested can join, children. Thus mainly we are discussing the basics for those examinations of NEET and JEE. And after 10 days we are discussing the 2 days of activity based learning. You all know activity based learning gives you the more enthusiasm, and it is very helpful to you. Through the experimental questions you can know about it. And after 12 days, the 13th day is the quick revision of the we are conducting the quiz. You can check your efficiency after and before, how much you improved and all that. And after 13 days, children, 14th day we are giving you the keeping you the cumulative assessment of all subjects we are discussing physics, chemistry, biology and mathematics. And after 14 days, children, the last day, which is very important, career guidance program we are providing. So in that you can know about what kind of chosen path you are to know how to go, what to study and what exams are they to write to achieve that goal. And we will give you the career guidance program and by one-on-one interactions, children. So the course is the foundation summer course is available both offline also and online also. For offline people, you can happily come to your institute name called NEET World, present in Narayani near metro station Hyderabad. And coming to the online course, children, the down scrolling number is there, no, children. By that scrolling number you can contact with us. We will give you the all details about how to access the classes by online through our app name called MedWorld. So this is what our foundation summer camp, children, and it is especially for the both CBSE also and SSC also for English medium. So the classes are all will be in English medium, children. The classes which are, it is available for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. So this is what we modified, children, and one of the very important news, and 1 week classes are totally free. You cannot pay 1 rupee of fee also. It is 1 week free classes, children. So you can utilize it. It is very helpful to you, and the mode of learning is through digital panel, children. We are creating wonderful videos to get the concept to be understood for you. So this is what about our foundation summer camp. So I hope you all aware of this. I hope you all understand about this. If any queries, please comment in the comment section, children. So this is Narayani. I am your foundation biology educator. Signing off. Tomorrow we will see in the next class. Thank you.